Hey guys, glad you stopped by. So we're doing dinner tonight, and tonight I thought we'd do something that we've had a couple times here at the house, but I've never actually made it. And it's something that I think Chris's mom made once, and then Chris has made one or two times, and that's a Dorito casserole. And it's essentially kind of like a taco casserole, only it's a layer of meat. It's got some onions, and we're gonna throw some peppers in it, and some fire roasted tomatoes and green chilies, and then a layer of cheese, some Doritos, and then wash, rinse, repeat all the way to the top. And then we're gonna bake it after we get all that cooked, and that way we get all that cheese melted and give everybody a chance to get to know each other. And I think it's just gonna be amazing, hands down. I'm so excited to try this, and there's so many variants you can do to it, which is awesome in and of itself. If you're new to my channel, this is your first video, welcome, glad you stopped by. Hope you get something out of this video. Maybe check out some of my other videos. If you're returning or one of my new subscribers, thank you, welcome back. Hands down. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Notification bell right next to the subscribe box. That way you know my videos come out. Doesn't mean you have to watch them right away, obviously, but at least let you know they're there to check out when you get a chance. I think it's awesome that you guys like to spend time with me. I never take that for granted. Hands down. Comments always welcomed. Any platform on social media, whether it be here on YouTube, Messenger, Facebook, whatever. I respond to all of them. If you take the time to comment, I'm going to take the time to respond. All I ask is you be nice. If you haven't figured out by now, I talk a lot. It's okay. That's what my channel is all about. Conversation, hanging out. We're friends, right? It's a neighborhood. We're supposed to hang out and have conversation. Granted, I do most of the talking. If you could, it would be two ways. But that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get started on this meal. I really think we're gonna like it, but me sitting here talking is not gonna get this bad boy started. So let's head on down to the counter and we'll get this going. All right, hold on for me just 1 second. All right, we were down here at the countertop, well, stovetop to be exact. Counter's over here. If you are new to my kitchen, you've seen my entire kitchen. Right behind you is literally a window and a door, and the outside. It's very galley, but that's okay. We make it work, right? We're almost 500 videos, as a matter of fact, and which is awesome. And I'm hoping to do something really special for dinner and dessert for $4.99 and $500. But we'll figure it out. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, we need a large skillet. That's the first gig. Things you will need to make this with: a larger skillet. I'm using cast iron. All I have is cast iron when it comes to skillets. That's a story in and of itself. All my opinions on cast iron versus non-stick, affordable non-stick, but they last forever. So the other thing you will need is a 9x13 casserole dish and an oven. That's pretty much it. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and get our pan heated up. And I've got 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil right here, and we're going to go ahead and get that warmed up. So once it starts to lightly smoke and dance across the skillet, we can go ahead and start throwing ingredients in. Okay, so we're starting to shimmer or dance, but you'll see it if you've never used oil before, which I'm sure you have, of course. You'll notice that 2 tablespoons seems to grow into a large amount. But you'll see it start to shimmer and dance across the top, and that usually follows by a little bit of smoking, which it's doing now. So what we're going to add to this first, I've got 1 medium onion that I have finely diced, and then in this case I added this to the original recipe. I've got a half a yellow pepper and a half of a red pepper, bell pepper, and a medium sized one, and the other half of each of those I put in the salad we're going to have with this. But you can use green, you can use none, you can use all red, all orange, all yellow, whatever you like. So that's the beauty of this dish. So we're going to go ahead and get those put in there, and we're going to let these saute. We're going to cook these up, saute them until they are translucent in color and softened up. Alright, so we've been about 5 minutes and we're starting to look translucent. Got some nice color to everything. looking good. So the next thing we want to add to this is about 2 cloves of minced garlic. I press mine through a garlic press, but if you like to mince up garlic, awesome. I don't. I find it to be sticky, makes my hands all sticky, it's a mess. But we're gonna go ahead and put this in here with our onions and peppers, and we're gonna let this go for about 30 seconds to a minute. We just want to get that smell, that fragrant smell of garlic, but you do want to make sure that you are stirring this around pretty consistently once you put your garlic in there. If not, you run the risk of burning your garlic and then it turns out bitter, and we don't want bitter garlic, that's for sure. It can ruin a meal pretty quick. Alright, so now the house, at least the kitchen, smells like one giant piece of roasted garlic. I've got 1 pound of ground hamburger. I'm using 80/20. I don't remember if the original recipe called for anything other than just regular ground hamburger. But if you want to use a leaner meat, you can, hands down. It doesn't have to be 80/20. It can be 90/10, 93/7. It can even be 70/30. If you go that high, I would probably try to get a little bit of the grease out as it cooks. But now we just need to get this browned up and crumbled. Alright, so we're about 3/4 of the way browning our hamburger. And I'm going to go ahead, even though I didn't say this in the original recipe, I am going to go ahead and put the seasonings in now. That way it has time to get with the into the oils, because it's taco seasoning is all it is. A 1 ounce package of taco seasoning. Or if you make your own, 1 ounce. Or about a package worth of taco seasoning. But you want to put it in there with the grease from the hamburger, and it does 2 things. A, the grease actually activates most of the seasonings in a taco seasoning. And with the meat not being completely cooked, it gives it a chance to get into that meat, the pink meat, and hold on to the hamburger while it is cooking. So that way, you know, you got that flavor throughout, and those spices are really doing their job in the meat for this dish. Okay, so our hamburger is brown. Our seasonings are, you know, in there, playing around, having a good time, doing their job the way they're supposed to. So we only got a handful of ingredients left to throw in here. Next thing I'm going to throw in there, I have got 1 can of diced fire roasted tomatoes. That's just the 14.5 ounce can. You know, the smaller of the 2 cans that tomatoes come in. And then we are going to add a small can, 4.5 ounce can of hashed green chilies. You know, or the roasted green chilies that you can buy at the grocery store. You know, or if you don't have either of those available and you just have a couple cans of Rotel, it would do the same thing. Yeah, this is just a different way of going about it, but all Rotel is green chilies and tomatoes, and you can even buy it fire roasted, which is awesome. And then we got to add 1 10 ounce can, 10.5 ounce can of cream of chicken to it. I know this actually is throwing me off a little bit because it's a beef product with cream of chicken going in it. And then the last thing I'm going to add to this is 1 cup of corn. And then we're going to let this cook for about 5 minutes and let it all, you know, kind of thicken up a little bit. We just added a lot of liquid to it. But that cream of chicken will pull out the, you know, combine with the liquid from the tomatoes and some of the burger juices and make a really nice base for our Dorito casserole. Okay, so we've let that go for about 5 minutes. Next thing we need to do is go ahead and turn our oven on 350 degrees. And then we're going to start building our Dorito casserole. So 9x13 pan. I'm not greasing anything because the ingredients didn't say so. And it shouldn't stick. I mean, with the greases, so to speak, that we got in the hamburger, nothing should stick. So we're going to take 1/3 of our hamburger mix here. You know, about 1/3. And put it on the bottom, which is why I know it won't stick. Now that we've got our hamburger on there, the next thing we're going to add is I've got 1 1/3-ish cups, might be a heavy 1 1/3 cup of, in this case, cheddar cheese, a sharp cheddar. Use whatever cheese you prefer, hands down. And we're gonna take a third of this, and we're gonna sprinkle it over the top of the meat. You know, go ahead and give it a good layer on there. All right, we got that on there. So now the next thing I have got it's the smaller of the big bags of Doritos. It's 19 and a quarter ounce bag, and I took them because they were whole, and all I did was just use my hand and crush them up so they were, you know, not obviously crumbs, but you know, you want bite-sized pieces, I guess would be the best way to do that. And I'm going to take half of this, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on top of this layer of cheese. And then, oh, that one that wasn't broke. And then we're just gonna wash, rinse, repeat. So I'm gonna put another layer of meat, another layer of cheese, another layer of Doritos, and keep going until I run out, basically. All right, so we got our layers in. Once again, it was meat, cheese, Doritos, meat, cheese, Doritos, and then meat and cheese. So next thing we need to do is go ahead and put some foil over top of this. But before I do that, I am going to reach into the cabinet here, grab my box of toothpicks, and I'm going to take my toothpicks and I'm going to put those in, just like 4 of them in here. And what that's going to do, I don't remember what casserole we made. We made it together. That I learned this trick, but what it does is, like I said, you don't have to stick them all the way down in, but it'll catch the foil so it doesn't go down onto your cheese, and you don't end up with a cheesy foil. But we're going to go ahead and get our foil in here. We're going to stick her in the oven with the foil on it for 30 minutes. And then once that 30 minutes is up, we're going to take the foil off, and everything should be nice and bubbly along the sides. Cheese should be melted. So then what we're going to want to do is take the foil off, and we're going to let it bake with the foil off for about 15 to 20 minutes to get it nice and golden brown on top. So when I come back, we'll be taking it out of the oven and taking a look at it and see what it looks like, and hopefully try some. All right, I'll see you here in a second. All right, guys, we've been out of the oven 10 minutes, letting it cool. Anything you put in your oven, when you pull it out, you want to give it at least 5-10 minutes or you'll melt your face off. I guarantee it. So, but we have accomplished our end game. So now all we have to do is try it, right? And I know the house smells amazing. It looks fantastic. If I did it right, you should have seen a picture of it already. So as far as toppings go, you can put anything on this. I am going to put salsa and some jalapenos on it because I like salsa and I like jalapenos. And this already has cheese in it, so I don't really need, a lot of cheese or any more cheese on it. I mean, that's kind of an understatement because cheese, you can never really have enough cheese. And as far as side dishes go, we put corn in it, so you wouldn't, I don't know if you'd want to do corn as a side, although you could. Refried beans. You could do beans with this. We're gonna have a salad with it, a nice salad with it. And heck, I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you have on the side with this? I'll throw that back to you guys. But there we are, all the same. And I think it looks fantastic. And then I'll just set my bowl with my salad on it right there. And I need something to get the salsa and the jalapenos on there with before we give it a try. So we'll get our salsa, fresh homemade salsa. If you haven't tried my salsa recipe for canning, because you can eat it fresh also, give it a shot. I'm here to tell you, you won't be disappointed. And then we'll throw a couple jalapenos on there. I love jalapenos, fresh, pickled, and I mean, we pickle our own. I grow jalapenos just so we can have pickled jalapenos. Plus it goes in the salsa. Get that on there. And if you've done them right, they're crisp, and then that way you don't have to worry about them falling apart. But there we are with the jalapenos and the salsa. So now we can just give it a shot. So I find something to hold that with. All right, got my handy dandy elf glove. Yeah, that bad boy's hot. We're getting sitting there for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try first without the salsa and the jalapenos. So I want to see what the flavor is with the recipe. And these the Doritos I used weren't nacho cheese. They were the sweet and spicy chili Doritos. I've never had them before, and I'm here to tell you they're pretty good. I'm not a big fan of Doritos. Those are pretty good. Big deal. That's good. Try some with my salsa on it. Yep, that is a for sure hit. Either way it goes, with or without the salsa. I'm sure Chris will put some sour cream on that. You could do black olives on the top of that. That would be really good. I wish I had some. And you can probably even put more fresh cheese on there, but I don't think it needs it. That's a really balanced dish. I like it. I like the Dorito casseroles anyhow. Like I said, it's been a very long time since we've had it, and I'm surprised out of 400 and some videos I haven't done one on it yet, but I hadn't. And I thought this would be a fun dish to try. If you do try this, let me know. Or if you have a way you make your Dorito casserole, let me know down in the comments below, or on Messenger, Facebook, Instagram. I'm kind of all over the place. And I will respond, but it'll be fun to hear. Hands down. So tomorrow for dessert, I really couldn't decide what direction we were headed. I've got a list of desserts that I want to try, and it's fall, it's pumpkin season, and we've already done a pumpkin roll. We've done a handful of pumpkin things. I've got a pretty extensive list of pumpkin desserts, but I found one that in our archives of things we haven't made yet that is pumpkin that I haven't done, and that is a pumpkin and chocolate chip whoopie pie. So that may be what we end up doing tomorrow. Unless I change my mind in the morning. But it sounds good at the moment at any rate. So until then, I'm gonna get this stuff over to the table so we can sit down and eat. And tomorrow for dessert, till then, I love you. Love you very much. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else you love them and love them very much. They may need to hear it. It's gonna make them feel good and smile either way it goes. It's gonna make you feel good and smile also, just to tell them that. And if you make them some of this Dorito casserole, I guarantee they're gonna smile, and it's gonna lead to an evening of conversation. And with that much in that 9x13, you could probably invite the neighbors over, guy down the street, somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, guy walking down the street, maybe the family of 3. Give a little leftovers to the mailman. He'll appreciate it. But anyhow, till tomorrow for dessert, I love you, and I'll see you then. All right, see you later. Bye.